if I talk to my own experience of being a kid playing sport, we'd go down the local, if we were lucky enough, rec ground, sometimes just a field over the fence with a ball, and would very quickly figure out how to create a fair game. Usually that would involve the embarrassing scrutiny of everyone getting lined up and two captains picking a team. And the poor buggers that were left to last were everyone was there to know that they were the least favoured people in your team. But what that created was fairness. And often what you'd end up finding is if you played a game and it turned out not to be fair, very quickly folk would lose interest in it and recalibrate and go, let's pick new teams.
Mm.
And the heart of that is that what we desire out of sport is something of a fair game, of something of a good competition, something that's both collaborative and competitive, where there's a decent chance that the outcome's uncertain.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what comes to mind is, again, probably another one of the criticisms similar to management by committee would be about competitiveness. That's really what we say. Actually, what we want is a competitive game in its truest sense. We want this to be competitive, and we want it, and to do that in a fair, ethical, moral way. We're not looking for, dare I say it, a marginal gain or two, and going into some grey areas to do that.
And of course, the sweet spot is that if that level of fairness and competitive can be maintained for long enough, that's what draws people in to wanting to come back for more.
Yeah.
And it's what can lead, if you find yourself sustaining that sweet spot, to the development of meaning and purpose through the living of it, through the journeying through it.
Yeah, and that's I think the notion of using competitive experiences for developmental purposes is what's missed on the whole when it comes to youth development or talent development around the winning versus development debate. Again, it's not, that's it's pitched the wrong way. Competitive experiences and opportunities are massively valuable. But most likely, if they're framed within that developmental and, again, a sustainable longer-term temporal frame, rather than can we get is it about getting a win necessarily? The win may come still, but it's a different thing. We're not talking about the same thing.
Well, and that brings us to another, I'll call it a straw man, that those that are wedded to a more instrumentalist view of a sporting life that's all about winning, whenever that's challenged, will immediately paint a straw man that, you just want a loving, you just want everyone to get a medal, you don't want to be competitive. And of course that needs to be challenged in the highest order, that no one's saying that journeying to meaning and purpose through sport means that people are any less aspirational about wanting to win at all. More so even. My challenge to that would be that isn't going soft, that's going hard.
Yeah.
Much, much harder to live with meaning and purpose as you aspire to achieve than to simply find the means to achieve at all costs.
Yeah.
Having to do it well is a much harder path and a much more rewarding path to travel.